So Ben and I met in, I think it was 11th grade, Miss Gordy's science class.
We were in our science class. She had missed the day before.
So Ben did my whole project for me, and I ended up getting a B.
After that, she would start talking to me throughout class. Nothing ever really big turned of it that year.
I didn't give him a hug after I got a B, so he didn't know that I liked him.
We had another history class together, and she constantly was always texting me. And then one day we went out to Starbucks.
We usually went on our first date to Marble Slab.
Sat and talked. We were there for about 8-9 hours.
And so on our date, we got ice cream, even though I was lactose intolerant. And that was pretty funny because normally I wouldn't have eaten ice cream, but I did it just because he asked me to go there. And actually, one of Ben's best friends, Josh Spear, ended up showing up on our first date, and so that made it kind of even more awkward.
We always just made time for each other, whether it's 30 minutes or in the entire day. Whenever she's off, if I have time, I make sure that we are able to do anything and everything we can together.
We had seen each other every single day except for 3 weeks when his mom took him to Niagara Falls on vacation right after high school. And that was probably the most miserable 3 weeks ever. And it seems like nothing now, but that was like the longest time I had ever thought that I could ever be without Ben.
She'd say, "Oh, I love this ring," or "Oh, this looks beautiful." And so I finally found a set that she really, every time like we walked by somewhere, she'd take a look at. And once I got it, I asked for her parents one day if we could possibly have a sit down and talk.
And my dad made him sweat all day long. He knew what he was gonna ask him. And so at the very end of the day, he finally got a chance to ask my dad.
Obviously they said yes. I feel that I'm a pretty good person. Spoke with her parents, spoke with my parents, and we decided we would go to our favorite place, which is Mitchell's. She loves that place. It's funny because she only ever orders the chicken. Seafood restaurant.
The week before Ben was gonna propose, he decided he needed a haircut. So he woke me up in the middle of the night to give him a haircut. I was so mad at him. How dare he wake me up for a haircut after I've been cutting hair all day long. The day he was gonna propose to me, I'm telling one of the girls at work all about how frustrated I was. How dare Ben ask me for a haircut? And she's telling me like, "Oh, no big deal, you know, that's just what happens, whatever." And she must have known. And I was telling Ben's mom, "Oh, I probably should wash my hair today while I'm at work. You know, I probably should just like restyle my hair or whatever." And she's like, "Oh yeah, let's do it right now. Right now, we need to wash your hair right now." And I'm thinking, people are just acting so weird, but I couldn't figure out what was going on. We come home from work that day and we're all gonna go over to Mitchell's, and we get in the car together, and as soon as we get there, Ben's parents are there too. So I'm looking at them like, what the heck is going on? So we sit down, we like order our food or whatever.
Prior, I had told her, "Well, why don't we make some some New Year's resolutions?" She said, "Okay." I said, "So I said, write down a couple of them of what you think that me and you could fix for each other." And we sat there and I said, "Okay, well, we're gonna read them aloud."
And I said, "Why don't you read your list out loud? That's kind of awkward." So he says, "No, just go ahead." So I read my list.
That was the way I proposed that. I said, "You know, there's no one in the world I'd rather spend my life with than you."
I would definitely say Ben thinks I look the best always if I'm wearing a dress.
Everything. I mean, it doesn't matter if she's wearing a dress, pants, long sleeve, short sleeve, anything. I believe I was wearing blue jeans, I think sandals, and just a normal t-shirt. Nothing special.
Ben was wearing a gray Aeropostale t-shirt, and it had like blocks of color on it. It went all the way down from red, orange, yellow, and I think he probably still has this shirt, but I remember he was wearing that, and I think a plaid pair of shorts, because that was like real end then. He purposely leaves the sugar out on the counter.
Probably because whenever I get out of the shower, if I leave the towel out and I leave the curtains open. My mom and Joe thought it would be extremely funny the very first time that she met them to have us feed each other.
I think it was Joe said, "Oh, so go ahead and feed each other your dessert." And we're like, we felt so awkward because we didn't even really know each other, and here we are feeding each other this creme brulee, and we're just like red face, and it's so awkward. But it was actually really funny to think about now.
She's improved. She used to scare me with her driving, but she is very much so calmed down.
Oh, Ben thinks I'm a terrible driver. I don't put my blinker on, I drive too fast, not fast enough, I don't get over in time, I get over at the last second. Oh, brother, that's embarrassing. Oh, I'm probably not very nice. I can't think of anything specifically I say, but I know it's not very nice.
She says my full name, which usually means she's angry.